Yes, I'm Corey Rose.
And I'm Jordan Chavez. Good morning, everybody. The wind's still whipping out there at the airport right now. It was hot as we were driving in this morning, 88 degrees.
I couldn't believe my car said 88 degrees.
This was before 3 a.m. this morning. You know, yesterday Chris was saying if you want to go on a dog walk, you got to do that early. Well, Chris, we can't even do that today.
Mother Nature flipping around the rules. I also tell you, always take that morning flight in the summer, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
and it's one of those rare times where we're actually getting a lot of those delays in the morning. That's very uncommon, but still, hey, trust me, take those rules. Try not to fly, especially landing at Denver International Airport after about 4 p.m. During the summer months. This is one of those rare mornings where we're seeing some of those wind and convectives, thunderstorm-related issues in the morning. Right now, mostly in the mid to upper 70s, more clouds and sunshine out there right now. Our low temperature since midnight, this is crazy. Crazy. If you haven't seen this yet, tune on up. Look at this. 75 degrees since midnight. If that holds through midnight tonight, I'd say it's about 50-50, but if that holds through midnight tonight, that's going to be our warmest low temperature in 143 years for us here in Denver. So it's crazy warm out there right now this morning. Seeing a few gusty showers for us, especially South Metro, South Castle Rock, towards Larkspur. Seeing a little bit of that convective activity, but for the most part, just a few drops of rain and some wind. Today, 94 for us, mostly cloudy skies. Those overall headlines. We got some of those gusty storms today. Widespread storms, though, moving the picture for tomorrow. I'll have that full weekend forecast for you coming up in just a few minutes, as well as a look at at what's causing all of this really warm weather this morning as well. Send things over to Erica now for check of traffic.
All right, Chris, thank you. 8:02, let's get you out the door. Dealing with congestion on I-25, really in both directions here at Evans, northbound and southbound. Then we've got northbound delays extending back to Arapahoe Road from an earlier crash this morning that has cleared. Let's take you over to our map this morning. About a 10-minute delay on northbound I-25 between Castle Rock and 225. I-25, though, really the big headache between the tech center and downtown, looking at a 30-minute travel time in both directions.
All right, thank you, Erica. Well, a judge just ordered the man accused of shooting 3 people in Aurora to be moved to a locked mental health facility. Austin Benson faces 4 attempted murder charges and more than a dozen other felonies, but doctors keep finding him mentally incompetent to stand trial. Since he can't be tried, the case is currently on hold, and this isn't the first time. Back in 2018, Benson faced similar charges in Douglas County. The judge eventually dismissed that case, and he got his guns back. Then, 8 months later, he was charged in the Aurora shooting. 9 News legal analyst Scott Robinson says moving Benson to a secure mental facility is the right call for both treatment and public safety.
If there's one thing history teaches us, and 5 years with Austin Benson should, there has to be a way to resolve a case that when a person has been found incompetent to proceed multiple times. Dismissal is not an appropriate remedy for a case where an individual would then just be set loose back on society.
So for now, the charges against Benson stand, and hanging over all this is the question of whether something can be done to keep him in a locked mental health facility indefinitely. We expect to learn more at his next court hearing in October.
Despite another bizarre turn of events, the trial for the Aurora dentist accused of poisoning his wife is expected to begin this morning. Most recently, one of James Craig's attorneys withdrew from the case after being arrested on suspicion of arson. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon joins us live from Arapahoe County Court. And Courtney, jury selection is scheduled to start in less than 30 minutes.
Yes, that's right, Corey. Jury selection here at Arapahoe County Court will begin at 8:30 this morning, and there's been a lot of unexpected events that have come out of this case in the last couple of years, including most recently with James Craig's attorney withdrawing from this case. Back in 2023, Craig was arrested for the poisoning death of his wife, Angela. An autopsy showed she ingested lethal doses of cyanide and an ingredient in Visine. According to an arrest affidavit, Craig used an office computer to research and buy undetectable poisons. Prosecutors later filed new charges accusing Craig of trying to tamper with evidence. Then last November, he was charged with trying to solicit the murder of a witness in the case against him. That's when he got 2 new attorneys, Robert Working and his wife Lisa Fine-Moses. Working has now been arrested on suspicion of torching his own home on the morning of June 29th.
Just when you think things can't get any weirder in the case against James Craig, things get weirder. This was absolutely unanticipated, unexpected, and quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, unprecedented.
And again, jury selection is set to begin in about 30 minutes here at 8:30 this morning, and this trial is expected to last about 3 weeks. Live at Arapahoe County Court, Courtney Yoon, 9 News.
All right, Courtney, thank you. Well, the Trump administration announced last week that it would be withholding millions of dollars in federal education funding. Now, school and state leaders in Colorado are trying to figure out how to move forward. The Colorado Department of Education says it will be losing out on more than $70 million of already approved funding. Governor Jared Polis he met with representatives from Colorado schools to discuss these cuts. Teachers, coaches, and superintendents were able to talk about their concerns and their fears surrounding the decision. For many of them, this money was already budgeted and being used for the upcoming school year.
It's a very absurd situation to figure out, because I know that many of you rely on this for your after-school programs, your summer programs. You have teachers who don't know if they have jobs at this point.
Now, if the funding remains on hold, schools will have to make that tough decision of what programs or faculty need to be cut from the curriculum.
A phenomenal risk of catastrophe. That is the warning an attorney sent to the Salvation Army more than a year ago over safety concerns at a homeless shelter in Denver. They were warning about the sliding glass doors that led to unprotected ledges, former balconies with the railings removed, the same kind of ledge that an 11-year-old girl fell from the 7th floor on Monday. The notice sent to the Salvation Army in February 2024 described concerns with the sliding glass doors, that they opened and would not close properly.
One of the highlights was that the sliding glass door would not close, and they had a child that was still crawling age, and so they were very concerned about the child possibly being able to fall out that door.
Denver's health department sent an investigator and issued a notice of violation. The door was repaired within a month. This week, after the 11-year-old girl fell, the city changed out the door locks on the sliding glass doors to ones with rivets that don't allow the doors to open past 4 inches. The Salvation Army says the girl is recovering.
We continue to follow the latest devastation out of Texas, where 120 are confirmed dead because of flash flooding. More than 160 others are still missing. Search and rescue crews say that they are turning over every stone, but as time goes on, the search for survivors becomes more bleak. Meanwhile, there's been a back and forth in Texas over storm warning systems and communication. Governor Greg Abbott is calling for a special session on July 21st with the goal of strengthening the state's disaster response. NASA is also stepping in to help with flood recovery efforts in Central Texas by deploying 2 high-tech aircraft to gather critical data from above. A NASA WB-57 is already flying over the hill country. It is specialized and it has sensors that are capturing high-resolution images even through clouds. A second plane from California equipped with radars can assist in search and rescue. It's also flying overhead. NASA says real-time data is being shared directly with first responders
to either aid in recovery efforts and or help us to pinpoint so that we can maybe get in front of these things going forward into the future.
NASA says that the crews will be flying over Central Texas for at least the next few days. And you can help those devastated by the floods in Texas. Our parent company, Tegna, has created a way for everyone to give. You can scan the QR code right now on your screen to donate to the Tegna Texas Flood Relief Fund. We'll also have information on how to give on 9news.com.